The vast emptiness of space stretched before the UES Thunderbolt, a sleek human warship that represented the pinnacle of Earth's technological achievement. Captain J. Park stood motionless, his dark eyes fixed on the holographic display that mapped the unknown regions of the Orion sector. Around him, the bridge hummed with a quiet intensity that spoke of years of preparation and anticipation. Lieutenant Daehyun Kim monitored the ship's advanced sensor systems, his fingers moving smoothly across translucent control panels. The ship's quantum computing core processed information thousands of times faster than any known alien technology. They had been searching for potential contact points with extraterrestrial civilizations for months, and today felt different. Suddenly, a series of unexpected energy signatures flickered on the long-range scanners. Commander Hee-Won Yang leaned forward, her breath catching in her throat. "Captain," she called out, "we're detecting multiple non-human spacecraft approaching from the starboard side." J. Park remained calm, years of military training keeping his emotions in check. "Tactical analysis," he commanded, his voice steady and clear. The ship's artificial intelligence quickly compiled a detailed report. The approaching vessels were unlike anything in human records. Complex, geometric shapes that seemed to shift and change even as they were being observed. Their energy signatures suggested technologies far more advanced than initial Earth intelligence had predicted. "Defensive systems?" Park asked, his hand instinctively touching the communication panel. "Quantum shields at maximum capacity," Dae-hyun responded. "Graviton cannons charged and ready. We're fully prepared for any potential scenario." The alien ships continued their approach, maintaining a peculiar formation that suggested both curiosity and caution. They made no attempt to communicate, which only heightened the tension on the human vessel. Commander Yang's voice broke the silence. "They're scanning us. Our entire technological profile is being analyzed in real time." J. Park understood the significance of this moment. This was humanity's first genuine encounter with an advanced extraterrestrial civilization. Everything they had trained for, everything they had developed, would be tested in these next few moments. The quantum weapon systems hummed with potential energy. Unlike traditional human weapons, these systems could manipulate fundamental physical properties, turning matter into pure energy in milliseconds. They represented a quantum leap in military technology that would shock any observing civilization. On the alien ships, complex decision-making processes were occurring. Sophisticated algorithms were comparing the human vessel's capabilities against known galactic standards, and the results were causing significant computational uncertainty. "Their scanning patterns are unusual," Dae-hyun remarked. "They seem confused by our technological configuration." J. Park allowed himself a slight smile. Humanity had deliberately developed technologies that would be difficult for other civilizations to comprehend. Their quantum entanglement communication systems, adaptive nanoarmor, and gravitational manipulation technologies were generations ahead of what most galactic civilizations could understand. The alien ships suddenly stopped their approach, maintaining a precise distance. It was clear they were reassessing their initial engagement protocols. "No communication attempts," Commander Yang noted. "They're maintaining complete radio silence." Minutes passed, each second loaded with potential for conflict or discovery. The human crew remained disciplined, their training evident in their controlled movements and precise responses. Then, without warning, the alien vessels began a synchronized retreat. Their movements were calculated, suggesting a strategic withdrawal rather than fear. "They're leaving," Dae-hyun reported, a hint of surprise in his voice. Captain Park nodded. This was more than a simple first contact. This was a statement. Humanity had just demonstrated its technological superiority without firing a single weapon. As the alien ships disappeared into the cosmic darkness, the UES Thunderbolt's crew exchanged knowing glances. They understood that this encounter would change everything, not just for Earth but for the entire galaxy. The first wave had concluded, and humanity had made its entrance onto the galactic stage. The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as the holographic recording played. Delegates from 17 different alien civilizations watched in stunned disbelief as the human warship effortlessly neutralized potential threats. Representative Yoon from the Centauri Confederation adjusted his translation device, his three-fingered hands trembling slightly. Admiral Sung Choi stood at the center of the massive circular chamber, his presence calm and measured. Behind him, a detailed display showed the technological specifications of human warships, each specification more alarming than the last. The quantum weapon systems, gravitational manipulation technologies, and adaptive nano-armor represented a quantum leap beyond anything the galactic community had ever encountered. "We come in peace," Sung began, his voice clear and direct. "But we will defend ourselves if necessary." The Arconian representative, a towering creature with crystalline skin, interrupted. "Peace? Your weapons suggest preparation for war, not peaceful exploration." His translator crackled with barely contained anger. Sung remained unfazed. He understood the game of galactic diplomacy better than most. This was not about explaining. This was about establishing boundaries and respect. Behind the scenes, emergency meetings were happening across multiple planetary governments. Intelligence networks buzzed with intercepted communications and frantic analyses. Humanity had not just entered the galactic stage, they had burst through the door with unprecedented technological might. The Quantum Measurement Council, a neutral scientific body, released a preliminary report that sent shockwaves through diplomatic channels. Human technology demonstrated capabilities that defied current understanding of physics and warfare. Their quantum computing systems could process complex scenarios faster than entire alien computational networks. Representative Kim from Earth's diplomatic corps provided detailed explanations. Each technical demonstration was carefully choreographed to show capability without appearing overtly threatening. Yet the underlying message was clear. Humanity would not be intimidated or controlled. "Our technologies are defensive," Sung explained. "We seek cooperation, not conflict." But the alien delegates heard something different. They heard the potential for total technological domination. Centuries of established galactic power structures were being challenged by a species that had been unknown just decades earlier. The Centauri Confederation's lead diplomat, a calculated strategist named Lara, spoke carefully. "Your technological capabilities represent a significant destabilization of current galactic agreements. We cannot allow a single species to possess such overwhelming potential." Admiral Sung knew exactly what was happening. This was a diplomatic dance, a complex negotiation where words were weapons and technological demonstrations were strategic moves. "We propose mutual technological exchange," Sung offered. "Transparent, controlled interactions that benefit all parties." But trust was already fracturing. Behind polite diplomatic language, preparations were being made. Alien military strategists were analyzing human technological reports, searching for weaknesses, planning potential defensive strategies. The meeting continued for hours. Each alien civilization processed the information differently. Some saw potential partnership. Others saw an existential threat. The human delegation remained composed, understanding that every gesture, every word was being meticulously analyzed. As the session concluded, no agreements were reached. But something fundamental had changed. The galaxy would never be the same. Humanity had announced its arrival, not through aggression but through sheer technological potential. Representative Yoon watched the human delegation leave, a complex mix of fear and grudging respect filling his consciousness. They had not just entered the galactic stage, they had rewritten the entire script. Outside the council chambers, preparations were already underway. Military strategists, diplomatic corps, and technological experts from various civilizations began intense discussions. The human question was no longer about if they would be a significant force, but how significant they would become. Admiral Sung Choi knew this was just the beginning. Humanity's journey into the galactic community had started, and nothing would ever be the same again. The diplomatic breakdown was complete. The stage was set for a new chapter in galactic history. The attack came without warning. 17 alien civilizations had united in a desperate attempt to neutralize the human threat before it could fully emerge. Their combined fleet represented the most significant military assembly in galactic history. Lieutenant Dae-hyun Park watched the incoming wave of alien warships on the UES Thunderbolt's quantum-enhanced display. Thousands of vessels approached, their energy signatures creating a complex web of potential destruction. But Park remained calm, his fingers hovering over the weapon control systems. Captain J. Park's voice cut through the bridge's tension. Defensive protocols activated. Prepare quantum targeting. The human fleet, though significantly smaller, was positioned strategically. Each warship carried technologies that made traditional combat look like an ancient game of sticks and stones. The alien armada believed in overwhelming numbers. Humanity believed in precision. The first wave of alien missiles approached. Most military experts would have expected panic. Instead, the human crews moved with calculated efficiency. Quantum shields flickered to life, creating impossible defensive barriers that absorbed and redirected incoming energy. Graviton cannons. Charging, announced Commander Hee-Wan Yang. Her hands moved with surgical precision across the holographic controls. The initial alien assault was designed to be devastating. Entire planetary systems had been stripped of defensive capabilities to create this massive strike force. They expected to find a young, vulnerable species. Instead, they discovered a technological nightmare. When the first quantum cannon fired, it didn't just destroy ships, it dismantled them at a molecular level. Entire battle groups vanished in milliseconds, converted into pure energy that scattered across the cosmic background. The alien commanders couldn't comprehend the speed of destruction. Target acquisition complete, Dae-hyun reported. His voice was clinical, almost detached. The human counterattack was not about violence. It was a demonstration. Each targeted strike carried a message. Humanity would not be conquered. The alien fleet, once numbering in the thousands, began to disintegrate. Alien communication channels erupted in panic. Their most advanced weapon systems became nothing more than expensive debris floating in the cold vacuum of space. Quantum entanglement communication allowed human ships to coordinate with impossible precision. Captain Park observed the battlefield with strategic detachment. This was not just a battle. This was a statement about humanity's technological evolution. Some alien ships attempted retreat, but human tracking systems were already locked, their quantum computational cores predicting movement patterns faster than the alien vessels could react. It was like watching a master chess player demolish an amateur opponent. Commander Yang monitored the energy consumption. Minimal resource expenditure, she noted. The human fleet was using a fraction of its total capabilities. The battle lasted less than 30 minutes. When it concluded, only human ships remained. No dramatic explosions. No prolonged combat. Just precise clinical destruction that shocked the entire galactic community. Admiral Sung Choi, monitoring from Earth Central Command, understood the broader implications. This was not just a military victory. This was a complete recalibration of galactic power dynamics. Rescue signals from surviving alien vessels were received but not immediately answered. The message was clear. Humanity would engage on its own terms. As the last alien vessel disappeared from scanners, Lieutenant Park allowed himself a brief moment of reflection. They had just changed everything humans understood about interstellar conflict. The quantum cannons powered down. Graviton shields relaxed. The UES Thunderbolt and its accompanying fleet hung in space, silent witnesses to a moment that would be remembered throughout galactic history. Humanity had not just defended itself. It had announced its arrival. The preemptive strike was complete. And the galaxy would never be the same. 3 months after the devastating battle, the galactic landscape had transformed completely. Alien civilizations that once stood united now scrambled to understand humanity's technological superiority. Captain J. Park reviewed the diplomatic reports in his private quarters aboard the UES Thunderbolt. Intelligence streams indicated multiple Alien civilizations were seeking different approaches to engage with Earth. Some wanted alliance, others prepared for potential future conflicts. The Centauri Confederation was the first to send a formal diplomatic communication. Their representative, a calculated strategist named Lara, requested a technology exchange program. Her proposal was carefully worded, balancing desperation with diplomatic pride. Earth's response was measured. They would consider cooperation, but on very specific terms. No single civilization would gain complete access to human technological developments. Admiral Sung Choi understood the broader strategic implications. This was not just about military power. This was about reshaping galactic relationships and establishing new interaction protocols. Quantum communication networks began recording unprecedented data transfer requests. Alien research institutions wanted to understand how human technologies functioned. Their scientific communities were both terrified and fascinated. Lieutenant Dae-hyun Park monitored these communication streams. Each request was carefully filtered, analyzed, and processed through complex AI systems that prevented any potential technological espionage. The economic impact was immediate. Alien trading systems that had existed for centuries suddenly needed recalibration. Human technological patents became more valuable than rare planetary resources. Companies across multiple star systems began restructuring to potentially collaborate with Earth's technology sectors. Military strategists from various civilizations conducted extensive analysis. The human demonstration of power had not been about destruction. It was a calculated show of technological capability designed to establish clear boundaries. Commander, He Wen-yang prepared comprehensive reports detailing humanity's defensive posture. The message was clear. Earth sought peaceful coexistence but would not compromise its technological sovereignty. Interstellar trade routes began shifting. Alien civilizations that once controlled major transportation corridors now found themselves negotiating with human diplomatic representatives. The power dynamics had fundamentally changed. Scientific conferences across multiple planetary systems began featuring human technological presentations. Researchers from different civilizations attended, hoping to gain insights into quantum computing, gravitational manipulation, and adaptive nanotechnologies. The Arconian Research Council, once hostile, now submitted careful research proposals. They wanted collaborative scientific exploration, understanding that isolation would mean technological stagnation. Earth's approach remained consistent, open but controlled, cooperative but not submissive. Each interaction was a carefully choreographed dance of diplomatic and technological exchange. Smaller alien civilizations began seeing humanity as a potential protective force. Their calculations suggested that alliance with Earth might provide unprecedented security advantages. Quantum communication networks buzzed with analysis, speculation, and strategic planning. The arrival of humanity had done more than change military dynamics. It had accelerated technological development across multiple civilizations. Captain Park understood this was just the beginning. Humanity's journey into the galactic community was complex, filled with potential challenges and unprecedented opportunities. The recalibration was not just technological, it was cultural, economic, and philosophical. Alien civilizations were being forced to reimagine their understanding of progress, power, and potential. As the UES Thunderbolt continued its strategic patrol, it carried more than advanced weapons. It represented a new paradigm of interstellar interaction, one where technological capability, diplomatic intelligence, and measured response would define future relationships. The galaxy was changing, and humanity was leading that transformation. The final confrontation arrived with an unexpected silence. 17 alien civilizations, their remaining military forces consolidated, prepared what they believed would be a decisive assault against humanity. Captain J. Park stood on the bridge of the UES Thunderbolt, watching the approaching armada. His team remained calm, their quantum systems already predicting and countering every potential strategic move. Incoming fleet, Lieutenant Dae-hyun announced. Approximately 3,642 vessels detected. Commander Hewan Yang monitored the advanced sensor arrays. Her fingers moved across holographic displays, calculating potential engagement scenarios faster than any biological intelligence could comprehend. The alien fleet believed they had learned from previous encounters. They had combined technologies, developed new defensive strategies, and consolidated their most advanced weapon systems. What they didn't realize was that humanity had been deliberately holding back. When the first alien missiles launched, human quantum shields didn't just defend. They absorbed and transformed incoming energy, redirecting destructive potential back toward the attackers. Entire battle groups found their own weapons turned against them with devastating precision. Admiral Sung Choi, monitoring from Earth's Central Command, understood this was more than a battle. This was a final demonstration of technological superiority. The human fleet moved like a synchronized organism. Each warship communicated through quantum entanglement networks, predicting and countering alien movements milliseconds before they occurred. It wasn't just advanced technology, it was a complete reimagining of combat strategies. Graviton cannons fired with surgical accuracy. These were not weapons of destruction, but instruments of technological communication. Each targeted strike carried a message. Humanity could end this conflict instantly if they chose. Alien communication channels erupted in panic. Their most sophisticated weapon systems became nothing more than expensive debris floating in the cold vacuum of space. The human fleet was using less than 12% of its total capabilities. Within 37 minutes, the entire alien assault force had been neutralized. No dramatic explosions, no prolonged combat, just precise, clinical, technological demonstration that left the galactic community in stunned silence. The remaining alien vessels received a single transmission from Earth. "We seek peaceful coexistence. Respect that peace." Lieutenant Park watched the battlefield data streams. This was not about victory. This was about establishing a new understanding of interstellar relationships. Surviving alien commanders realized they were dealing with a civilization that had transcended traditional warfare. Humanity's technological capabilities were so advanced that conflict became almost obsolete. Scientific analysis would later reveal that human quantum systems had effectively rewritten the fundamental engagement protocols of space combat. They had not just won a battle, they had transformed the entire concept of military interaction. Admiral Choi's final report was brutally simple. Potential threats neutralized, diplomatic channels remain open. The UES Thunderbolt and its accompanying fleet remained in position, silent witnesses to a moment that would be remembered throughout galactic history. They had not just defended humanity, they had redefined the possibilities of technological evolution. As cosmic dust settled and communication networks processed the incredible data, one thing became absolutely clear. Humanity had arrived. Not as conquerors, not as aggressors, but as a civilization capable of reshaping entire galactic paradigms through pure technological potential. The ultimate demonstration was complete, and the galaxy would never be the same.